You sit there staring at the screen at the ceiling, at the same list of pros and cons you've rewritten 20 times. You ask yourself the same question in different forms. You replay the same conversations in your head. You analyze every word, every signal, every possibility. You scroll looking for answers. You journal endlessly. You say, I just need more clarity. But the truth is, you're not actually confused. You're just addicted to thinking, not conscious-focused thinking, but compulsive, anxious, looping overthinking. And the irony. The more you think, the less you know what to do. The more you analyze, the less you act. The more you plan, the more disconnected you feel from the very part of you that knows what's true. That's because clarity doesn't come from thinking harder. It comes from feeling deeper, from returning to your body, from anchoring in the present. And that's something overthinking will never let you do. Because overthinking is not a search for truth. It's an escape from uncertainty. Carl Jung said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. Overthinking is one of the most socially acceptable forms of avoidance. It makes you feel responsible, intelligent, diligent, while secretly keeping you frozen. It gives the illusion of movement, when all you're really doing is circling your fear. You're not gaining insight, you're avoiding a decision. You're not seeking truth, you're avoiding risk. You're not building wisdom, you're avoiding feeling. Because real clarity isn't found in loops, it's found in stillness. And stillness is terrifying when your nervous system is addicted to control. Let's be honest. Most of your overthinking comes from one thing, fear. Fear of failure, fear of regret, fear of rejection, fear of discomfort, fear of making the wrong move and being punished for it, internally or externally. So instead of choosing, you ruminate. You build logic castles around every option. You tell yourself you're being thorough. But you're really just avoiding tension, the tension of owning your choice. Because the moment you decide, something dies, a version of you, an outcome, a possibility, and that death creates grief. Most people don't know how to grieve decisions, so they stay in indecision, hoping that thinking will save them from pain. But it never does. It just creates more pain, the pain of disconnection. You lose access to your instincts, your body's signals, your truth, because the head was never meant to lead alone. In Jungian terms, the psyche needs balance, the intellect, the feeling, the intuition, the sensation, all four ways of knowing. But in modern life, we prioritize only one, the intellect, and not even in its wise form. We live in the shallow end of the mind loops. Doubt-spinning logic completely disconnected from the deeper truths of the unconscious, which speak not in thought, but in image, in emotion, in energy, in the body. This is why overthinking doesn't just waste time. It leaks energy, psychic energy. Jung called it libido, not in the sexual sense alone, but as your life force. Every moment spent spiraling in thought is a moment your libido is not available for creation, for presence, for clarity. You think you're being productive, but you're depleting yourself, slowly, quietly, constantly, until one day you feel exhausted, not from doing too much, but from thinking too much and moving too little. And let's be real, most overthinking is about things you can't control. The past, other people's thoughts, imagined futures, what ifs. Should I have said this? Will they think that? Should I wait? Should I push? Should I apologize? Should I reach out? Should I leave? Should I stay? It's a constant negotiation with ghosts. And while you argue with them, your life is passing. Your relationships are fading. Your confidence is shrinking. Not because you're not capable, but because you've made a habit out of hesitation. So how do you stop? First, you need to recognize Overthinking is not solved by thinking better. It's solved by changing your relationship with uncertainty. The moment you become willing to feel uncertainty, instead of solve it, you begin to unwind the addiction. Because that's what overthinking is, an addiction. A nervous system dependency on the illusion of control. And the only way out of addiction is discomfort. Withdrawal. Sitting in the urge and not obeying it. Here's a practice the next time you feel yourself spiraling. Pause. Drop into your body. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid feeling right now? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's grief. Maybe it's responsibility. Feel it. Name it. Breathe into it. Let it be there, without needing to fix it. Just be with it. This is the medicine. Second, reconnect to your body. Overthinking pulls you up and out into your head, into fantasy, into simulation. Ground yourself. Move, breathe, stretch, walk, lift. Do something with your body that has no mental endpoint. This rebalances your psychic structure. It returns libido to the soma, the embodied self. Jung would say, this is the beginning of reintegration, of wholeness, of escaping the tyrant of the ego and reuniting with the self. Third, limit decision windows. Give yourself constraints. If you can't decide in 24 hours, you're not gathering more data. You're avoiding risk. Make the call. Trust yourself. Your clarity will increase the moment you start living your decisions instead of just thinking about them. Fourth, write. But not endlessly. Not pages and pages of looping thought. Write once. Let it out. Then act. Close the journal. Move the body. Call the person. Do the thing. You don't need a perfect plan. You need momentum. Fifth, make feeling your compass. Before deciding, don't ask, what makes the most sense? Ask what feels clean in my body. You'll know. Not with logic, with resonance. Jung believed the unconscious communicates in symbols and sensation. You are wiser than your mind. Let the deeper voice speak. And here's the biggest shift: stop identifying with confusion. You are not a confused person. You are a powerful person with an overactive thinking habit. You don't need to figure everything out. You need to feel your next step and trust that clarity comes after movement, not before it. You've never thought your way into a breakthrough. You've moved your way into it. So the next time you catch yourself stuck in a loop, remember the goal is not more answers. It's more presence. That's where clarity lives, not in the noise, but in the now. What's one decision you've been overthinking? And what emotion are you really avoiding by not making it? Drop your answer in the comments, not to perform clarity, but to claim your power back. See you in video 12. No more spiraling, only forward.